Fabulous! Oh, well, welcome one and all to our flexi session tonight. I wanted to work on middle splits tonight. So really opening up the hips and getting in on the inner thigh. I will ask if you guys can grab a chair or a stool, but basically something that is a little bit higher. So if you've got like a low stool, preferably higher. If you don't have a stool or a chair to hand, but you've got like a sofa or the top bit of a sofa, that would be great. So basically we want to be lifting our foot about hip height, basically. So that's where I want us to use that. We won't use it straight away, but you might want to just have it ready for when we do use it. Good. Fab, 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 fab. Okay, fabulous. Okay, let's start with our warm-up. Starting with 4 big deep breaths, taking it in through your nose, out through your mouth, lifting the arms up as we go. Number 1, and release. Number 2, letting it all go. Number 3, and out. And last one, biggest one yet. Number 4, and out. Lovely. Standing it up. Shoulder back, opening up the chest, and take yourself from one side to the next. Just feeling your weight gently transferring from one side to the other. Perfect. And let's hold ourselves to one side, lift the ankle up, circle the ankle round, and change direction. Perfect. Switch over to the other side, circle around the ankle, and change direction. Lovely. And leg number 1, lifting it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To the side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Leg number 2, lifting it up. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To the side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. I kept losing my balance then. Nice soft knees, tummy nice and tight, rolling around the shoulders. Lovely. Take a little bit bigger, leading with the elbows. And then just the shoulders rolling forwards. Good. And then forward swimming. Lovely. And let's reach the arms up nice and high. Take one arm forward, one arm back. Perfect. Lovely. And change direction, other one back, other one forwards. Good, excellent. And then letting it all go, nice and floppy. Keep them knees nice and soft. We're going to twist ourselves round. Feel a twist in the back with floppy arms, floppy fingers. Fab. And then gently taking it back to the front. Everything from hips down is going to stay still, and we're just going to twist our upper body. Don't make it as round as far as we were before, but keeping them hips square, just taking it as round as far as you can. On each side. Lovely. One more each side, and then everything from shoulders down stays still, just moving the head from left to right, right to left. Lovely. Gently up, gently down. And then ear over to one shoulder. Keep the shoulders down, lifting it up and over to the other side. Up and over. Up and over. Lovely. And then from here, we're just going to roll around that front semicircle to the other shoulder, and then just go straight back around that front semicircle. So just rolling through the front, just to stretch out all of the back of the neck. Lovely. And then gently taking the head back up on top of the shoulders. Lovely. Pull the shoulders up towards the ears. and then pushing them down, lifting them up, pushing it down, lift it up, push it down, lift it up, push it down, double time. Ba, 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 ba. Lovely, palms up to the sky, opening it out, squeeze the shoulder blades together at the back, opening up the chest, round and separate, and open, and round, and open, and round, and open. And this time when we round, interlink the fingers, keep the arms bent, and pull gently on the arms to separate the shoulder blades, look down to the floor. Lovely, let go of the hands, interlink the fingers, pull the shoulders down, lift the arms up and away, and fold yourself over. Try and get your hands to come all the way up over towards the floor in front of your face. Lovely, let go of the hands, bend the knees, rolling it all the way back up. Fabulous, and taking the hips from side to side, circle around the wrists, taking it all the way up to the top and down the middle. And then when you get to the bottom, change direction of the wrists, taking it all the way back up and down. Lovely, and then interlink the fingers, snaky, snaky, and reverse. Lovely, give them a little shake. Fold yourself forward, hands come down, keep the hips going from side to side. And then gently taking it back up again. Fab. Bend the knees, pelvis tucks under, squeeze the tush, kind of thrusting under, and then take it back, pushing your butt to the back. And then under and squeeze, and taking it back. Under and squeeze, and taking it back, and then let's circle the hips all the way round. Lovely. And change direction, another way. Gorgeous. Lovely. Reaching all the way up, fold yourself forward, hands come down to the floor, feet nice and wide, and bending one leg, and then taking it up and bending the next, and just taking it up and over, getting into the other thigh, maybe a little bit in the back of the hamstrings. Lovely. And taking it through the middle. Now you can keep your hands on the floor here, or if you prefer, you can keep your hand, you can take your hands off, keep that chest lifted, and make sure you're still keeping your hips low. Perfect. Hold yourself to one side, and then let's flex up this foot. If you wish to, you're welcome to sit on your butt in this position if it's easier. We're going to flex it, take it into demi point, so my ankle is straight but my toes are lifted, and then full point, back through demi point, and then flex. Let's go. Demi, full, demi, flexed, demi, full, demi, flexed, demi, full, demi, flex. Lovely. Roll yourself over into your lunge position on the other side, gently taking the hips up and down. Lovely. Push through that front leg, take yourself into your standing lunge. Find the balance, reach the hands up, pelvis tucks under, push down into the hips. Lovely. Reach all the way forward, chest glues on your front leg, hands frame your front foot, lower the back knee down and tuck that toe, and we're going to straighten and rebend our front leg. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Tuck the toe under at the back. Push your back leg straight so it'll lift your hips up. And then from here, we're going to straighten the front leg again. Keep your chest glued onto your front leg, even if it means you don't go fully straight, and then rebend. Don't forget to take the foot straight, flexed up as well. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Lower the back knee down. Take yourself into a lovely big low lunge. One hand comes either side of your front foot, and we're just going to do our hip circles, taking them round. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. 2 hands come to the inside. I'm going to just shuffle my foot slightly to the side, so it's like on the outside of my shoulder. So if you just see me It's just a little bit wider. And I'm going to roll onto the blade of my foot so that my knee comes out towards the side. And I'm just going to bring my weight more into my hips. So it'll just be stretching out my hips. If you would like to take this into a deeper stretch, you can take it down into your elbows. Just make sure you're keeping your back nice and straight and pulling your chest forward so you're not rolling over, lifting your hips higher. You're pushing yourself down. Lovely. So whether you're on full arms, midway arms, or in the elbows, we're just going to breathe. Keep that head lifted. Keep your chest moving forward. Lovely. One more breath here. Lovely. And if you do go down to elbows, gently take yourself back up to full length arms and reshuffle so you're bringing your weight back into that foot. From there, tuck your toe under at the back, push your back leg up straight, open yourself out to the front, and then take yourself over to the other side. And from here, we're flexing that foot, taking it into a demi point, taking it into full point, back through demi, and flex. Demi, full, demi, flexed, demi, full, demi, flexed, demi, full point, demi point, and flex. Lovely. Roll yourself round into your lunge position on the other side, and gently taking the hips up and down. Just warming up this hip a little bit more. Push through the front leg, take yourself into a standing lunge. Find your balance. Reach the hands up, pelvis tucks under, push down into the hips. Reach all the way forward, hands come either side of that front foot, lower the back knee down onto that toe, and we're going to straighten the front leg and then rebend. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Tuck the toe under at the back. Push your back leg straight, lifting up the hips. We're going to repeat, straightening out that front leg as best you can whilst keeping your chest glued on and flexing up that front foot. And we go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Lower the back knee down. Take yourself into a lovely big lunge. One hand comes to either side of your front leg, and we're going to circle our hips round. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. 2 hands come to the inside of your front foot, and then again, same as we did on the other side. Just take that foot to the edge, so it's like just on the outside of my shoulder. Roll onto the blade of my foot, so my knee's coming out away from me and just sinking down into my hips. If I would like this to be more challenging, if this feels okay and I want to take it into a deeper stretch, I can take it down into my elbows. Keep that chest pulling you forward. Pulling, pulling, pulling. Don't drop the head down and lift the hips up. Whether you're in full length arms or in elbows, keeping the head up and chest leading forwards. And breathing. One more breath. Lovely. And then gently take yourself back up to full length arms. Bring your weight back. Actually, I'm going to bring my weight back into my back knee and let my other leg join, so I'm landing on all fours. Have a little reshuffle if you need to. You want to make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. And from here, I'm going to tuck my pelvis under, round my back, separate the shoulder blades, look down between the legs. And taking it either way, pelvis opens up at the back, push down through the middle, squeeze the shoulder blades together at the back, looking up at the sky. And reverse, taking it back under, rounding over, pull the tummy button up into the spine, separate the shoulder blades. And opening out the other way. Imagine your tailbone is trying to reach all the way to the top of your head. Lovely, and then let's roll the rib cage round in a circle. And reverse other way. Lovely. Fabulous stuff. Fab, fab, fab. Hey, from here, I want you to take yourself into a lying down position, and you're lying on your back. So I'm going to have my feet outstretched in front of me, and I'm just lying down on my back. If you wish to, you might just want to just have a little peek up before you go down. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to bring my knee in towards my chest, do one leg at a time, and then I'm going to do my hip circles from here. So this is what I'm just going to start with. So when you're ready, lie yourself down on your back, bring one knee in towards your chest, your other leg stays outstretched, and we're just going to start with little circles. So I'm circling my knee round in a circle. So I'm just taking it nice and gently. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Lovely. Change direction, take it the other way. For 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. And then taking that foot directly back down on the floor and lifting up the other knee towards the chest. So we're just again going to do them circles. Taking it round. Start it with small circles for 1, 2, 3, and then if it feels comfortable, you can take it into bigger as it feels okay to do so. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Change direction, take it the other way. For 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. If it feels clunky, take it into smaller circles. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Bring both feet in onto the floor, knees up to the sky. Bring your feet together, and I'm going to drop my knees apart. So my feet are together, like the soles of the feet are touching together, and my knees have opened like a book. And I'm just going to let myself rock in my hips. So pushing one knee down at a time, just having a nice gentle rock, just so that my hips can start to relax and open up. Lovely. If the rocking feels good, feel free to continue with the rocking or hold it still for a few minutes. We're just going to leave it whilst this is opening out our hips a little bit more. We're going to take 4 big deep breaths while we're here. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. When you exhale, I want you to really feel like you're flooding your hips with your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Sending that breath to your hips to nourish it and help it feel more relaxed. Last breath. Lovely. Bring the knees back together. You can use your hands if it needs that extra bit of help. And we're going to bring both our knees in towards our chest, keeping our feet together. So I'm in kind of like a little, tucked into a little ball, but all of my upper body's nice and relaxed on the floor. My feet are going to stay together. I'm going to take my knees wider, and I'm going to hold on to my ankles. So the reason I can hold on to my feet is just so that I can help to take my knees a little bit wider. Now, obviously, we're still doing feet close together and knees wide, but this should feel very different in your hips. And you can rock from side to side whilst you're here. Lovely. This position always makes me think of babies, because I always see like tiny little babies doing this position. when they're on their play mat, but it's super good for opening out those hips. Lovely, good. And 3 more breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And last breath. Inhale and exhale. Lovely. Gently bring your feet back into your knees back in together. I want you to straighten out your legs. So your legs are coming up towards the sky. And then again, we're going to open the legs out wide. Same way that we did just before, but instead of our feet being close together, obviously this time our legs are out in a straddle. Keep your knees facing up to the sky, up towards your head. So like your knees, if I was looking down at my knees, my knee would be looking back at me. It's not looking towards the ceiling. I hope that makes sense. So my pelvis is tilted slightly up. I want you to hold on to either your inner thighs, or if it's comfortable, you can hold on to your calf. Just make sure your upper body is nice and relaxed. And then again, I want you to rock from side to side, feeling the stretch all down the inner thigh. And you might be able to get, as you rock, take 1 foot to the floor each time. Lovely, good. And then gently taking yourself back to being still. If you prefer the rocking and it's just unbearable just holding it like this, then feel free to continue with the rocking as we do these breaths in this static position if that's your preferred. So taking an inhale in, exhale. As you exhale, imagine or like feel your inner thighs start to relax and ease a little bit. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Lovely. And then gently bring your knees, close the knees and then bring them back in together. Lovely. From here, I'm going to take both of my legs are going to flatten back down, so I'm lying in like a pencil shape, so my feet and legs are on the floor. And then I'm going to lift up 1 leg at a time. So what we're going to do is I'm going to draw my 1 foot in. So I'm going to do my left leg first. I'm going to bring my toe right up as high as I can, knees facing towards the sky. And then I'm going to open my hip and my knee out to the side. So I'm opening out in my hip just on the one side at a time. And then I'm going to straighten my leg whilst my hip is still facing out. So you should find that your knee stays turning outwards. And then I'm going to draw it back up so that my knee is then still facing out. Pull my knee back in and then straighten back out again. Does that all make sense? Let me know if it doesn't, or just watch the first couple and then join in afterwards. So I'm taking, and we're going to repeat on the same leg. So I'm taking knee up to the sky, open out towards the floor, and then lengthen the leg. Draw the foot back up, knee is facing out, knee comes up to the sky, and then taking it down. Let's go again. Up, out, down, up, in, down. Good. Up, out, down, up, in, down, up, out, down, up, in, down. You're doing great. Up, out, down, up, in, down, up, out, down, up, in, down, up, out, down, up, in, down. Last one. Up, out, down, up, in, down. Beautiful. Switch over to the other leg. Up, out, down, up, in, down. Good. Up, out, down, up, in, down, up, out, down, up, in, down. Good. Up, out, down, up, in, down, up, out, down, up, in, down, good, up, out, down, up, in, down. Last two, up, out, down, up, in, down. Good. Last one, up, out, down, up, in, down. Lovely. Good. Take both knees in, roll yourself over to one side, and gently sit yourself up. That was really nice, and it was actually really entertaining to watch because I could see your knees going up, and then they'd sink back down, and then in the next one they'd go up, but it was just the little knees coming up. Really, really nice. Take yourself onto all fours. Make sure that your wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take your foot directly out the back. Let me shuffle forward, I'm not doing that one. I'm going to take my foot directly out the back, and then I'm going to flex my foot, gently bringing it in towards my chest. 1, 2, then taking it out to the side. Lovely. Then I'm going to straighten it whilst it's at the side. So my hip is out. Then I'm going to turn it back in and flex. Lovely. Okay, so that's one. Try for the entire time to keep, we're going to do our best to keep our core nice and tight and our back nice and straight. So let's start with our leg going out, flexing the foot, then knee comes in towards the chest. You can point your toe once you start to bend the knee. Then take the knee out to the side, like you're peeing on a tree. Then take it out straight behind you. So I've opened up my hip in this position, and then I'm going to close my hip, flex my foot. Good. And in to the chest, out to the side, taking it out behind you, roll the hip forward, flex the foot. Taking it into my chest, out to the side, take the leg behind me, rolling it in, flex the foot. Taking it into my chest, out to the side, leg goes behind, roll the hip in, flex the foot. Knee comes into my chest, rolling it out to the side, leg goes behind, roll the hip in, flex, keep that tummy tight, take the knee in, foot comes, leg goes out to the side, take the leg behind me, roll the hip in, foot flex, good, in, and out to the side, leg goes straight behind me, flex the foot, roll the hip in, knee comes forwards, out to the side, take behind me, and roll and flex. Lovely, really, really, really good. So hopefully you can feel like actually the moment we then move our leg out to the side, how much our hip is really opened without really noticing it that much. Okay, switch over to the other side. You're welcome to stay facing the same way. I'm going to come over this side. Okay, lovely. So starting with the leg behind me and flexed. And then we take it into our chest, out to the side, straighten behind you, roll the hip in, flex the foot, taking it in, out to the side, leg goes behind, roll the hip in, flex into the chest, out to the side, leg goes behind, roll the hip in, flex into the chest, out to the side, leg goes behind, roll the hip in, flex, knee comes into the chest, out to the side, leg goes straight behind, roll the hip in, flex, knee comes in, out to the side, leg goes straight, roll the hip in, knee to the chest, out to the side, straighten the leg, rolling it in, flex. Last one, knee into the chest, out to the side, leg goes behind, roll the hip in, flex. Lovely, good. I don't know about you, but my hips are feeling nice and warm, and that makes me feel very, very good. Okay, good, fabulous stuff. From here, I'm just going to put my mat just slightly to the back, so I'm going to bring my chair in. So grab your chair. if you've got a chair. If you've got a banister, that also works. Okay, good. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give you a couple more minutes. Give me a thumbs up when you guys are ready, because I don't want to start without you. Lovely, thumbs up there, thumbs up all round. Fabulous. Okay, so I'm going to have my chair, I'm going to have the highest part of my chair next to me, or banister or sofa or whatever we've got to hand, and I'm facing it sideways onto me. I'm going to lift my leg that is closest to the chair. I want to take it forward and then up and over. Oh, I've gone a little bit too close to it. Okay, so basically I want to be lifting my leg up. So rather than hoiking my leg on, I want my legs to do the lifting. And then I want to keep my hips square to the front. So I'm going to avoid rolling my hips in. So I really want to try and take my hips as square as possible. Then this in itself, you might start to feel a bit of a stretch on the inner thigh here. That's absolutely fine. Make sure with your other leg that it's directly underneath your hips. If you feel like you're slightly leaning back or slightly leaning forward, readjust by little hops to get into that position. From here, draw yourself up through your spine, draw yourself up through your thighs, through your hips. Feel like you're squeezing your legs to lift up, squeezing your butt to lift up. I don't want to be sitting in my hip. I want to be lengthening and drawing up. Okay, and then from here, I'm just going to put my hands on the hips to keep them out of the way. Rotate your foot so it's slightly out, so two toes are facing out because it's easier to balance. And then we're just going to bend the knee down, so we should feel a deeper stretch on the inner thigh. And then we straighten. Good. And then we're taking it down and up. I'm actually just going to take my foot slightly in a different position, taking it slightly wider for me. And down. Oh, much better. And up. And down. And up. And down. And up. Last two. And down. And up. Last one. Down. And up. Lovely. Now from here, I want you to turn your foot so it faces forwards. Actually, I'm going to bring my foot onto it rather than my ankle. It feels a bit more comfortable. So my knee is facing you guys. My front of my foot is facing you guys. So my hip has rolled forwards. I'm just going to do one more bend here. And just see if you can feel a difference where it's stretching. I find this one doesn't stretch as much, but other people find that it will really get in that spot that is a little bit deeper for them. So we'll just do 3 bends here. And then release. Lovely. If you can, lift your leg up to take it off, as opposed to just dropping it off. And then switch over to the other side. So starting it sideways, lift your leg forward and over to the side. Then find your balance. Make sure that your hips are square to the front. I'm actually going to bring it onto my foot, I think, because my ankle's feeling a bit awkward there. So I'm really keeping my hips square, okay? Once you've got your balance, make sure you're drawing up, lifting the spine, squeezing the pelvic floors, tummy's nice and tight. And we bend in that opposite knee, down. And up, that's 1. Down. And up, that's 2. Down. And up, that's 3. Down. And up, that's 4. Down. And up, that's 5. Down. And up, that's 6. Down. And up, that's 7. Last one, down. And up. That's 8. Lovely. And again, rolling your foot to the side so that your knee faces forward. And we're going to do 3 more bends here. Bend number 1. And up. Bend number 2. Good. And up. Last one. Bend number 3. And up. Lovely. Good. Lifting your leg up and dropping it to the side. Fabulous stuff. And we're just going to take the chair to one side. We've got one side. From here, taking yourself into your seated position, we're going to take our feet out in a straddle. I want you to be really conscious of where your pelvis is and how it's positioned. If you find that your pelvis is rolling under when you're in a straddle position, so your pelvis is rolling under and you feel like you're rounding out your back and you can't ever get a fully straight back even just sitting, grab some cushions, grab a yoga block, grab some books, grab a blanket, lift your hips higher, because you want to be in a position where you can really sit on your sitting bones and stick your butt out the back so you can get a deeper stretch. So you want your pelvis, if anything, the best is tilted away, but if we can't do it tilted, then at least neutral. So we really want to be making sure we can keep our straight back and lift your hips up higher by sitting on blocks or cushions if you find that you're rolling your hips under. It basically means you've got tight hips and tight hamstrings if that's the case. So don't worry if you're like, oh, I'm having to use blocks. I sometimes use blocks as well, and I consider myself quite flexible. But it's just, I know that by having my hips higher, I'm going to be able to get into the deeper stretch and the muscles that I want to be stretching. So, making sure we're sat on our sitting bones, take away any fleshy bits, so take your butt cheek out of the way. So we're sat on our sitting bones, drawing up, lengthening out our spine, okay? And then from here, we're going to reach up with one hand, take the opposite hand onto that hip. We're going to elevate that hand, reach as high as we can, and lean ourselves over, feeling the stretch all the way down the side. If you are super flexing in this position, you want to take your aim is to get your shoulder in front of your knee. So be sitting in front of your knee if you feel comfortable to go that deep, but don't worry if not. Lovely. And release, switching it over. Hand comes in onto the hip, reach the opposite hand high, draw up, open over. And when we're in this position, you don't want to be rolling in towards the floor. You want to be rolling out. Like, try and get your armpit to be facing up to the sky. Lovely, good. And taking it back up. From here, I want you to keep your back straight and start to lean forwards. So even if you are only doing a smidgy smooth forwards, as long as you're keeping your back straight, I'm happy. Lovely. Good. Take a big deep breath in. Exhale. So if you can think that a little bit closer. Inhale. Lovely, good stuff. Inhale. Really nice. And then gently, gently, gently coming back up. Lovely. Now what I want us to do from here is rock in our hips. So I'm going to show you what this looks like sideways. And it can look like a really subtle movement. That's okay. So I'm sat upright at the moment. I'm on my sitting bones. But what I'm going to do is have my hands in front of me. And then I'm going to roll like I'm rolling my pelvis under. And then I'm going to roll forwards so that my knees rotate to face the wall in front of me. And my butt sticks out the back. And then I'm going to roll it forwards and back. Now when I first started this, my movements were this. Like minute. So every subtle movement counts. But we're just going to rock forwards and backwards within our fullest range of motion, wherever kind of feels good. We might start off small though, and then take it a little bit bigger as we feel comfortable. Lovely, good. You can see you guys rocking back and forward. This is great. Lovely. Last two. And last one. Forwards, rock back. Lovely. Gently bringing the knees in together. Now I'm going to do the next pose. We're going to do a frog pose, but we're going to do it on our knees, obviously. Feel free, if you feel uncomfortable on your knees, then grab either extra mats or knee pads, things like this, to make it more comfortable, or reuse those cushions. So what we're going to do, I'm going to start on all fours, and then I'm going to take my knees wider. So I'm taking my knees wide, 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 taking it as wide as they feel comfortable. And I want to just check that my knees are in line with my hips. So I don't want my butt too far back, and I don't want my butt too far forward. I'll show you what I mean from the side. So I'm in my froggy position. I don't want to be sitting my butt back here, and I don't want to be leaning too far forwards here. I want to have my knees in line with my hips and just sink as low as I can. And take your time with this. You don't need to get low straight away. That's with all of our stretches, but particularly hips. You want to just give yourself time to relax and let your muscles ease into the position. So this one can take a bit of time to get into it and to feel comfortable. So just have a little check, make sure that your knees are still in line with your hips. And we're just going to hold it here for 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, keep breathing, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, you're doing great guys, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Lovely. And bring yourself forward to take your legs together at the back. I find that's easier, the easiest way to get out of it, having been stuck in the position myself. Okay, so what we're going to do next is kind of like half frog pose, half lunge. So let me just pop my light on. Actually, I feel like it's getting a little bit dark because the sun's going behind the trees. So what we're going to do, we're going to have my knee in line with my hip, coming out to the side, and then with my opposite leg, I'm going to take that into a wide lunge. So it's not like a lunge in front of me, it's a lunge kind of wide and forwards. And I want to make sure that I'm keeping my knee out to the side, and it's kind of at a right angle. So I should feel a stretch in my inner thigh here. I'll show you this sideways on, just so you know what I'm doing. So I knee out to the side, and I'm coming in that big lunge out to the side and slightly forward, and I'm feeling the stretch on my inner thigh here. So I don't want to be sitting with my butt back, so I don't want to be here, and I don't want to have my hips all the way forward. I want to keep my hips roughly in line with my knee. Okay, so just get into that position. You should feel the stretch, like we're stretching all of the inner thigh here. So my knee is out, I'm in my lunge, and we're just sinking into this. And you won't get as low, that's okay. Lovely, good. Very nice, good, good, good. And breathe. Lovely, last breath here. And then relax, gently bringing it back in. Switching over to the other leg. Knee comes in. Take myself into my lunge, and then take that hip back so I can feel the stretch on my inner thigh, all down here. Good. Really nice. So it just helps to focus on one at a time, basically. One more breath here. Lovely. And then gently coming back together. Fabulous. I'm going to return us to our frog pose. If you are feeling achy in your arms or in your wrists, you can take yourself down to elbows if that feels comfortable, or you can lean onto something. So maybe grab like a sofa cushion so that you can help prop yourself up if your arms are starting to get tired, because it is quite tiring to hold yourself up. So taking your knees in position, making sure they're nice and in line with your hips, and take yourself forward. If you are feeling quite comfortable in this position, and you can get yourself nice and close to the floor, then to make this more challenging for you, then you can lift yourself up. So by lifting up my chest, this will be deepening your stretch. So if I'm closer to the floor, that would be slightly more, I won't say gentle because it doesn't feel gentle, but it will be easier than if you're lifting yourself onto, if you're doing like a slight back bend with this. So if your chest comes higher than your hips, it will be more challenging. Okay, so we're in our position. Keep breathing, making sure that your knees are in line with your hips. And let's hold for 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, good work, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax, lovely. Bringing yourself forward to then release the knees at the back. Fabulous, good. Taking yourself onto all fours. What we're going to do here, just make sure that your wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. I'm going to take my fists onto fists. That's literally only because my wrist is recovering. But you can use flat hands, that's fine. So don't think that you have to do it this way. So what we're going to do, my knees are directly underneath me. I'm going to take my knee out to the side and then I'm going to take it back down again. So we do this move sometimes when we're working out our butt, and I definitely want it to feel like that. So basically by squeezing the butt, it sends a signal to the opposite muscle, which is our hip flexors, to relax and lengthen. So it enables us to get a deeper stretch. So we're just going to take our knees out to the side. Now just be careful when you're doing this. I want that knee to stay in the 90-degree angle. I don't want it to be like at a wonk. Okay, so I'm not taking just part of my leg up. All of my leg is up, going to the side and taking it back. And you can take it as high as you can. And we're going to alternate from one side to the next. Okay, so in your positions. Oh no, I'm a little bit too close to the sofa. I'm kicking the sofa. Okay, are we ready? And let's go. Making sure our tummy's nice and tight. Doing our best to keep our tummy tight and our back nice and straight. And let's do leg 1 and down. And 2 and down. So we're alternating legs. 3 down. 4 down. 5 down. 6 down. 7 down. Good work. 8 down. 9 down. 10. Good. 11. Keep that back straight. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. Tummy nice and tight. 17. 18. 19. And 20. Lovely. Really, really, really good stuff there. Fabulous, guys. I'm going to take myself over to a wall. If you have a wall space available for you to push against, that is fabulous. Go and find yourself a little space against the wall. If you don't worry, because we can do it on the floor as well. So you've got a couple of options. Whoop. Wah! I'm dropping everything, aren't I? Okay, so if I'm going to do mine against the wall just here and my door, because I don't have space for a whole wall, but I'm going to do mine here. If you don't have space to go against the wall, then what you can do, you can either, for an easier option, take yourself onto your back, lift your legs wide, and then we're going to open out that way. So I'm taking my legs wide and pulling down with my arms. Or the harder option is to go face down and then take your legs out wide and then lower yourself down that way. Okay, So if you don't have access to a wall, feel free to do it on your back or on your front and lowering down, or opening the legs wide and lowering your feet down to the floor. But I'm going to do mine against the wall. So this is kind of the middle ground bit. So what I want us to do is, if you're joining me on the wall, is take your feet against the wall, and then you're going to push your butt against the wall, and you can kind of like push against your hands to get your hips closer to the wall. So I'm just going to take myself as close as I can. Lovely. And you can kind of like push against the wall to get into your position. Okay, and we're going to hold it in this position for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Big deep breath in. Exhale, see if you can get a little bit closer. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Lovely. Leaning yourself back. Take your legs in. Lovely stuff. Now I'm going to do it in the middle of the floor, but again, if you prefer, you've got the option of doing either on your back with the legs wide, or against the wall again, if that works really well for you. So I find it's kind of in the 3 in the middle. So I find when I'm on my back, it's slightly easier because I haven't got as much gravity pushing. It's just the weight of my legs. Against the wall is that little bit in the middle because I can push myself against the wall, but sometimes my feet kind of push back. And then this third option is a little bit more challenging because there's kind of no escape. Your weight is going down and into the hips. So I tend to get a deeper split when I'm in this, doing it this way. But you can do either of the other ways if that works well for you. Whatever feels good. Okay, so hands coming down into all fours. Now, like we did with our frog pose, we're taking our knees out to the side, but this time we're going to take it with our feet. So we're doing it with straight legs. So taking yourself up. If you want to, it's quite nice to have a chair here so that you can lower yourself down onto a chair rather than it just being on your arms if that feels a bit intense. But you're just going to breathe and gently take yourself into your split position. I want you to keep yourself, your hips forward, your knees facing forward. Lovely. Good, good, good. I can see you working super hard. That is fantastic. Okay, and we're going to hold it in this position for 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. You guys look great. 24. Keep breathing. 23, 22, 21, 20. Lovely. Do a big deep breath in. Exhale, so we go a little bit deeper. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. You're doing great, guys. Keep breathing. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. One more big deep breath in. Exhale, so you can move a little bit slower, a little bit deeper. 2 and 1. Really good. Roll yourself forward. Take the knees behind you and your feet behind you, and gently sitting yourself up. That was brilliant. Just give a little moment for your legs to find themselves. Give yourself a little wiggle. Okay, we're going to do it once more. One final one, and then I will leave your inner thighs alone for at least a few days. Good. Fabulous. We've got one more in this. See if we can do our best to hold it for the entire 30 seconds. I know sometimes I talk over it. I do try my best to stick to the 30 seconds, but just think every second longer is even more progress and helping that muscle relax just that little bit more. Okay, getting into the position again. Sinking our feet out to the side. Lowering yourself down, relaxing yourself in. Finding that little wiggle. Lovely, good. Fabulous. And let's hold for 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, keep breathing, 22, 21, 20, you guys are looking great, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, you look so good, 10, 9, keep breathing, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, one last big deep breath in, exhale, 3, 2, and 1. Fabulous. Roll yourself forward, bring those legs together, and then gently take yourself back up. Fantastic, guys! You have done amazing, and I can see you holding it and doing your absolute all. I'm so chuffed. Really, 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 really well done. I hope it's really felt challenging, but in a good way, and that you feel like you've made progress on your middle splits. Don't worry if it doesn't feel like you can visibly sorry, I lost you there. That you don't always visibly see a big difference, but know that even just by doing this, you will be progressing, you will be getting progress towards that middle split. So really, really, really well done to you all.